Welcome to the It's All Fine and Dangy podcast, where hosts Dan and Angie talk with creatives, small business owners, charities, and all kinds of interesting people. It's all real talk. It's all fine and dangy.
He must have done 20 of them in 20 different ways for it.
I should have started listening to those.
So thank you guys for joining us. This is really cool.
Again, after my little mishap.
Yes. Well, that's happened very rarely.
It's okay.
So.
Alex had a headache, so
It
worked. Right. See, it worked out good.
It worked out best. Well, thank you guys, for coming back. Thanks for giving us another chance. Yep. And we went to the Southern Deli this past weekend
we did.
for the first time.
Ooh. And it was delicious.
Oh, it was so good.
Good.
So we're going to get into that. It was so good.
Yep.
Really good
So
stuff.
we, just to let everybody know, we have Alex and Christa sitting here with us from the Southern Deli right here in Apopka. And it's so funny because Dan and I always talk about just finding things right in your own backyard. And we just discovered you guys from family, Holly Fox, his cousin, who told us about you guys. Yeah.
I was born in the Apopka Hospital some 50 years ago, Thursday. Yes. So
yeah. So tell us your story a little bit. Are you Apopka natives? Tell us a little bit just personally maybe about you guys. Who wants to start?
I was like on the outskirts of Apopka growing up. So my parents moved and then they changed the zoning and I got bused to Evans. So, but I grew up in Apopka, just not in Apopka high schools, which is kind of weird, but like
you're local.
I'm local. I went to Lockhart Elementary School. I was here. She went to Oviedo, but her dad was in the military. So she was born in North Carolina. But,
lucky girl.
Yeah. So.
We love it up there. Where about in North Carolina?
Not the good part.
Oh, no.
Is near a base or something?
Yeah.
Fort Bragg.
Oh, okay.
Whatever the cheapest land is that they can purchase to get it on at that time.
That nice there, I don't think.
And she was only there for like the first year of her life, so.
Okay. Well.
But she didn't get to be born in Orlando or in Florida, so.
Oh, darn.
Darn it.
I know.
Not a native Floridian.
We love it here, but we are eyeballing North Carolina
We
to move
really
to.
Are. Especially when weather like this hits.
I know.
Like it is out today. We're like, it would be like this like three months ago.
Yeah.
We were up in North Carolina.
And I don't want to say it because the device will hear me, but we have smart devices all over the house, of course, because I'm an IT guy in my day job. But I will ask it. I will go, Amazon device, what's the temperature in Asheville, North Carolina? Just so she can hear in the middle of the day. And it'll be like 74. And I'm like,
oh my god.
August.
Yeah.
It's 86 degrees here.
Yeah.
I know.
And that's nice. That's nice day.
Yeah.
And I used to be a sun baby and loved it. And now I'm getting a little up there in age and, things are shifting. And I'm like, it's so hot. And it's probably 80. Oh. And like, that's nice, right? But I'm like, what's going on? And I can just handle the cooler weather, definitely.
Yeah, me too.
Well, the Southern Deli is truly a family affair. So tell us a little bit about how you guys started.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Who in the family is involved? Like, walk us through a little bit about how this all came to be.
She conned me into opening a restaurant.
The truth comes out.
But so was it based on food that you guys were eating or the way that some of you cook or?
Yeah, a lot of the food on the menu is stuff that she cooked as I grew up. So I grew up eating most of this.
Wow, lucky you.
I know. And stuff that she grew up eating, a lot of it's like from her mom and her, your granny. And,
my granny was a lunchroom lady at Oak Ridge High School.
Oh, wow.
But there's no way they have food that good.
They did then.
Really?
I mean, she's been dead for a long time, but she definitely was garden to table, which was very cool.
And there was something about our grandparents, which the generations now we don't do anymore, right? Is just no measurements.
No.
Like the hand, a scoop full of this and a pinch full of that.
That's
That was my grandparents.
That's hard to pass a recipe on, though. I guess it's just trial and error.
Definitely the beginning was a lot of trial and error, like figuring out how to like take all of our, like everything in our head and put it into like fruition and like here, try this. I'm like, what is it? We don't know. Just try it.
Tell us how it tastes. Give us some feedback.
Yeah.
So, a lot of friends and family that were your samplers, correct? And giving the feedback?
Not really. When you go to, it's very strange how it happens. I think that we talked about it for so long, and I was like in a corporate environment, and I started having some health issues, like nothing major, but just enough that it's like, I need to get out of this
like
environment.
a wake-up call. Yeah.
Yeah. I had a neurologist tell me, you need to get out of this environment. And so I did. And I took some time off, and she and I like spent an entire year talking about doing this. And I really did con her into it, but I didn't know what we were getting into either. And, so we worked on it. She was huge in helping me come up with the menu. So while, you have your basics of things that you make and you eat, and then you do things that you think would be fun. Like one of the things that we have on the menu is our meatloaf salad. And while we never had tried the meatloaf salad prior to like putting it on paper, we knew that it would go well together. We thought it would go well together. And we knew like we wanted to be able to take meatloaf and use it in another variety other than just putting it with a sandwich or a platter. And so we came up with it. And so you knew all of the elements. You knew how to make all of the elements, but putting it together is just something that you would do. I think I would probably force on her for dinner, leftovers, whatever. And so
let's be creative.
Right. Yes. And so it's really, I think one of the most bizarre things to me about opening a restaurant is you're kind of like, you're pushing your ideas on people and they are liking it or they're accepting it or,
that means you're on to something though.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think the other thing that's weird is like the hammy Sammy. I feel like when you go to a restaurant, you get a ham sandwich, you get lettuce, tomato, pickles, or not lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you can make that at home.
Right.
Right.
But when we went to put the hammy Sammy on the menu, it was like, well, this is how I grew up eating it. And this is the way I like eating it. And there's a lady who comes into the restaurant, and the first time she came in, she got the hammy Sammy, and we put the pineapple jam on it, which I think that kind of happened by accident, because when we cook the ham, we cook it with the pineapple jam and whatever. And then like the next time I think she got it, and she was like, it's not as good. At first, when I ate it, I was like, wait, what is this? I don't know if I like pineapple and pickles together, and like try to figure it out. And then she's like, I can't have it without pineapple anymore.
It's like an accidental discovery.
Yeah.
That's
so
great.
Sometimes the customers are kind of, encouraging those strange mixtures that we normally wouldn't put together. Right, that's really cool.
I mean, I think that's how we always ate it together, but like not deliberately, I guess.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. It's just, but it is funny because it doesn't have lettuce and tomato, and people will add it, but
by default, you have some really cool stuff on your recipe too. And when we went, I know we had the Pajami Sammy,
and the hot berry bacon. Did I say it right? Yeah. Hot berry bacon. That was interesting.
That was very interesting, and I really liked it. And then the other one, because we split two things to try things, the other one I really, really liked was like a biscuit with chicken and
that
gravy.
Was the Pajama Sammy.
That was the Pajama.
Yes,
okay.
That's Pajama Sammy. I had the hot berry bacon that had the bacon, the jalapenos, and the berry jam.
Yeah. Right? Oh, okay. I was thinking hot berry bacon was on the Pajama Sammy.
Yes, guys, this is what I just said. Bacon, jalapenos, cheddar cheese, and berry jam on white bread.
But it was spectacular.
Delicious.
Like the things you would never think. You reminded me when you said the pineapple ham, because she's more daring than I am with that. But after we tried that and enjoyed it so much, and of course I ordered the more traditional, the biscuit sandwich. When we go again, I really want to try, I think it's called Davey Crockett grits.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the one that has like the eggs in the grits and the bacon in the grits, and there's jelly, like a squirt of jelly in it.
Yeah. Grape jelly.
Which sounds like something I would never try. But
now, is that a Southern thing? Is that something, or just something in your household that you grew up, or was it by accident?
I don't know if it's a traditional Southern thing, but it's something her husband does, and then it's something your dad did. So like.
And your dad did.
And so like all of these people.
So it might
I don't eat it like that.
I've never heard of it.
It's the great jelly I never would have thought of. And I bet now that we've tried
but
the other thing.
But there's some salty and then a little sweet.
Yeah.
Probably is what it is. And
it just works. It's like
balances it.
Know.
I've seen a lot of people come in and they go, yeah, of course I put grape jelly in my grits and eggs. Like,
Wow.
What?
and then there are people that are like,
Grape jelly, what's that for?
I'm in between.
See, I'm
like,
very daring though. I
I've
like
never
to try
done
new
it.
stuff.
Right, but
Yeah.
now that we tried that sandwich, which was ingredients, I was like, what? And it was so good. Now I want to try the grits. So.
I just love some of the names you guys have come up with. So I'm a very themed person. Like if I do a party or something, everything's got to be themed and named.
Can I tell you guys,
and
the first 6 months of this podcast were difficult because she'd be
I
like,
was trying to theme every
for this
month.
month, we're only going to interview teachers. And I'm like, how are
It
we
was
gonna-
very challenging.
Yes, it gets really challenging.
That was very challenging. But some of the things you guys, like the pajama Sammy, we talked about Mac Crack.
Yeah, that's a favorite.
Is it?
What was one
Mac
of the-
Attack,
Mac Attack.
Crack and Mac.
What is the Mac Crack?
It's just our mac and cheese. She decided she didn't want to do like a traditional Southern baked mac and cheese. She said something like, everybody has their own idea of what mac and cheese is.
Sure.
Like what you grew up. So we did just something different.
I
What
love it.
we
You
like.
put Gouda in yours.
Yeah.
smoked Gouda.
Yes. So you tried the mac and cheese.
Oh, that's what
That was the little bowl that I had.
That was okay.
That was the side
amazing.
I chose. Yeah.
And what did I have on the side?
I don't
Like
remember.
cheese grits or something?
Yes. You had the grits.
Yeah, we loved everything that we had in there.
Good.
Well, it is very filling. We
Yes.
couldn't eat it all, so it's true Southern food.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we wanted a little bit of each other's, and I couldn't even finish all of the sandwich.
And I almost ordered those Davey Crockett grits with the other two things. I was so glad we didn't.
know.
So we have something to try new when we get
So
back.
so you truly get a nice
Heap of food.
heap of food. You may
definitely
say.
don't leave hungry.
No, I don't
Yeah.
think anybody does. And there's something else you guys do. You serve alcohol. And,
Yes.
Which we were very pleasantly surprised about.
And they were really good.
Because
too.
it was 11 o'clock,
Yeah.
it's brunch. You've got to have a
Exactly.
cocktail.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the base of your drinks and what you serve.
So we only serve beer and wine. So
Mm-hmm.
it's all wine-based liquors, and they're actually pretty good.
They're amazing.
They're
They're
really
like-
good.
like I had the tequila one and it literally tasted like regular booze.
Yeah, and the bottle and everything looks like tequila too.
Wow.
So
It's
like-
not top shelf, but
No.
it does, and you can definitely get a buzz off of it.
Yeah.
Yes, we both
Is
had
it-
one.
Oh, yeah, I can vouch for that. I only
We
had
had to
one.
hang out a little
Yeah.
Walk around the shop a little bit.
a little shopping, but they're really good, and you have fun names for those too.
Oh, yeah. Those
So
are fun.
where do you come up with the ideas for those? Is it based on just like a regular drink you had growing up, or you just have fun and experiment with it?
Yeah, there's one that's
And
like
how do we get invited to when you start coming up with new drinks?
That's the best
How
question.
do we get invited to that? We have
definitely
valuable
interesting.
feedback.
We'll do a special episode for it.
Yeah, for
there we
real.
go.
We maybe should do that actually.
That'd be really
That
fun.
would be so fun.
happy hour.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
with the drinks, we didn't even know wine-based liquor existed until we went to Restaurant Depot, which is a nightmare. I recommend no one ever go to Restaurant
Yeah.
Depot. And they turned us on to it, and so we just started experimenting with it. She's been like instrumental with all of those drinks, the names, the ingredients, the things that go in them, and truly, she's not even a drinker really, but neither one of us are. But some of the fun things I think you've had in the past. I don't know. I don't even know how we've
Like
come up with
one is
them.
like a boozy peach tea. Like,
That's the one I
Yeah.
had.
that
Yeah.
one's
her
good. I
favorite.
love that one. And then
Yeah.
there's one that's kind of like a Shirley Temple, and
That's my
Did you just
favorite.
add a little bit more of this and a little less
Yes.
of that? Did you
yeah,
just tinker with it
Yeah.
until you got it right?
And you
Yeah.
also have to figure out how to make the wine equivalent to like an actual cocktail because you've got to have a lot more wine. So like our little
yeah, it's
recipe
like half
board,
and half.
So you can taste it more. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate that.
it's like you get a full pour plus.
Yeah.
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 I know I first learned about wine-based, wait, what is it? Wine-based.
Liquors, wine-based. I
Yeah.
guess wine-based liquors, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I at Wekiva Island, they had like a Bloody Mary. I'm like, what? You guys
Yeah.
don't serve liquor? And
But
he's
that's
like,
how
no,
we
it's
knew.
wine-based.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I get now.
I've seen it
It's
a
amazing.
few places.
Yeah.
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 It's interesting. It's
That's
catching
how
on.
we knew it was going reading the menu. Normally people might be like, "Ooh, I'm not going to get that," but we knew it tastes.
It tastes good.
Like,
Yeah.
And we're really not big drinkers either. We're kind of in that phase of life where we might have one drink, but we want it to be a really good one.
Yeah.
We
Right.
really appreciate
but we
it.
say that, and then we have like a Keurig alcohol machine.
Yeah,
out.
but how many drinks? but we drink one drink out of it.
Yeah, but literally, it's like,
We'll say,
if you
let's
have a hard day,
let's have a drink tonight. Let's have another one. We have one. And then we're like, but you want it to be really good. You know, you want to enjoy it and sip it slow. And that's what we did at your restaurant with those drinks, too.
They were really good. So you guys started right before COVID hit, correct?
I was going to ask, is that when you guys started?
And you're still here. But, let's talk a little bit about some of those struggles and what kind of kept you going through, because that's like the worst thing that could have possibly ever happened. So everything is only uphill from now on.
Or downhill, yeah.
No, not downhill. It's uphill.
But downhill means it's easier now.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Uphill's the struggle.
Well, there's one of Angie's things.
I got you.
So there's always something I say.
But that's a great question, because I'd imagine all the preparation, I can tell by the way you're talking about, we got into this. It was so much more than I expected. So you go through all this preparation, all the money and time and I'm sure hurdles you had to get through to get to where you're finally open, and boom, this happens. Were you actually open when COVID hit?
Yes.
We opened in June 2019. So
and COVID hit in March.
Less than a year.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. Okay. So you were, in your infancy, just, like us, like we've just heard about you. So literally, if you were probably shut down for a while, I'm assuming.
We stayed open. We did takeout. We did a lot of curbside.
Oh, good for you.
The new word that we've all learned since COVID, right? Curbside.
For real.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
People still do it. And it's like...
What did you get? Because one thing I noticed when we were there is it was like we got there right after you opened, and there were people waiting to sit down when we left. And I thought, this is amazing. This is so great. Did you get that right away?
No. Yes, right away.
Yeah.
We had no clue.
Everybody came in the beginning, and it was like
something new.
Something new, and it was very hard because we didn't know what we were doing, and people are very particular
yes.
and critical. And
when we first got the space, so we got the space, we started working on it, and we put up a hiring sign in the window. And we had already gotten like our website. We already had the menu on our website. Mm-hmm. We had already done all of the behind the scenes stuff for the most part. Not all of it, but a lot of it. And our mailman came by and saw the hiring sign and put something on Apopka Rants and Raves. Well, you're oblivious. You have no clue. You're in there scrubbing, working, doing whatever.
Yeah.
And somebody like alerted us, and I can just remember my heart was like racing out of my chest. Because
like something good on Apopka Rants and
she
Raves?
there's a sign up for hiring. This new place is going to be the Southern Deli.
Yeah.
Well, people just started like...
Oh my
gosh.
What's
the Southern Deli?
And like good, bad, like
there were over 50 comments whenever I started reading.
There's a lot of power in that group.
Yeah.
We worked with other people in that group. Yeah.
And your whole everything is wrapped up into that. And I remember that just thinking, I don't know if I can handle all of this.
Yeah, sometimes you got to not read the comments too, though.
And
well, these were just comments to get started, though, right? People who were interested in the job?
No, it was just like a restaurant's coming to Apopka.
Something new, like everybody was excited.
New.
So there was a buzz that started.
It was a buzz, but then there's people that go down the negative trail, and your heart's on it. So your heart's like breaking, and you're like trying to.
Yeah.
I hate when people don't.
Angie is so right. Don't read the comments.
Can you handle it? Well, and you have to, especially in the beginning. You've got to. But
my favorite was the Google review.
I was getting
before, like a month or two before we even opened our doors. Like nobody knew much about anything. We didn't. We got a 1-star review on Google because we were too fancy for Apopka.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Well, this is why I honestly
you
believe...
don't want. I'm sorry. This is what I'm going to say. Yes, you want business, but you don't want somebody's like that. Okay, if we're too fancy for you, then go to Popeyes. Like, seriously.
And then people will read that and then go to our page. Hopefully they realize this place isn't even open yet. What do you mean here's a review?
But that's why you can't, she's so right, you can't read the comments because even, it's not worth it to me to root through all that negativity to find a good one because... You can tell by the business. You can tell by so many people that come in there now. But I suppose when you're first getting started, it's horrible because
you get beat up.
Yeah, but I bet a part of that, how you were saying you were nervous, is that you're probably thinking, okay, well, we want to open and work. Hopefully, it's just kind of we ease into it, right?
Right.
So that we learn what we're doing.
No
So
such
it's like,
luck.
bam.
No such luck.
Out the door.
We haven't advertised at all except for on Facebook a little bit. And when the first day came, it was literally all family and friends that showed up. And
Yeah.
from their word of mouth, the next day, I will tell you from day one, we're busier than we ever were through COVID.
Yeah.
In the first 3 months, and we had no clue what we were doing. I literally had probably 15 people employed, and they all had overtime.
Wow.
So this
first
may be a
week.
strange question because you probably haven't been asked this one, but in a way, did COVID give you some breathing room to kind of?
No, because it had already tapered off. Like you get
Okay.
hammered for 3 months.
Okay,
And you're trying to set everything around what is happening in the first 3 months.
Gotcha.
And then it starts to die down. And so everything that you thought was going to be changes and shifts. And with
Well, it kind of allowed a little bit of grace
COVID definitely has given us a lot of grace.
in terms of like other areas,
In
not
other
so
areas.
much employees or food. It just, or customers. It was like,
The business side.
yeah,
the
like
business side for sure.
financial or that kind of
I
thing
feel like
to
with
get through that first year.
With COVID, I feel like the biggest thing that's helped us is to learn how to do it with as few as people as possible, which sounds awful, but I'm in the back all of the time now, which is not where I want to be. I would rather be out with people.
Sure.
But being in the back and doing all of that, that's usually your most expensive.
We've both
Positions.
also been able to learn every single position, every single role. Either one of us could go into any position and be able to function.
That's hugely valuable and probably not that common in this business.
I also think it's important for you to know all those positions so that you know what to expect of the people you're hiring.
Yeah.
And you know what kind of work it is. You know what I mean? Because I feel like there's, if somebody in the restaurant business has never washed dishes or, done something on the back end or the prep work or something, they don't know how hard it is.
How
So
much
for
can
you
get
guys to
done.
know that and know, what you're looking for in someone, or just know what to expect as far as stress level that they're going to have back there and how you can kind
It's
of
awful. It's awful.
Don't say that.
I mean,
we need people.
the restaurant business and retail, which are both service type industries, I always they're not for the faint of heart. They're for hard workers.
Yeah.
It's not for anybody that is a slacker in any way. It's not just easy money. You have to work for your money.
It's
Yeah.
hard work.
And I
Yeah.
feel like people have no perception. Like, I think people come in and they think, like, I've seen people be critical of other restaurants, for example, like they can afford to buy new dishes, or like I've seen people be critical of that. And we've been open since June of 2019, and I've done nothing but lose money since we've been open. I haven't taken one dime out of it.
Even though you're so busy.
I work over 70 hours a week, physical labor over 70 hours a week.
Do you see that? Do you see the curve changing for that?
I better.
Because
I better.
because it's interesting. But we were talking to another guest about this kind of thing. But it seems that you're wildly successful as far as
That's the
people
perception.
coming.
The perception.
Like you're not empty ever, really.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Oh, are you?
With COVID, it's weird.
Hit or miss some days.
Is it weekends really then that are the busy times?
No, we've talked.
Usually Friday, but one day a week we'll get slammed, like a Tuesday randomly at 12:30.
You have no
It's
idea.
it seems very,
So-
COVID has made things very unpredictable.
It
seems
has.
like.
So you still need business.
We still
yeah.
need
Oh,
business.
Good.
We definitely still
That's
need
the
business.
message we want to get out here.
And I will tell you, one of the things that I think touched me the most with COVID and Apopka, like when we open, I'm like, I want to be a light to the community. I want people to come in and I want them to feel like an atmosphere change when they come in here. Like they feel like they're being loved on and that they feel like the Southern hospitality. And we had plans to do all kinds of activities and different things. And they kind of got squashed. When you first start, you really are trying to figure out your way just with the food.
Yeah.
And then you start to go on to the next things. And with COVID, we didn't really get that chance. But the people that showed up during COVID, I would have people come in and say, this is the only place that we're going to eat out every week because you can't go anywhere.
Oh, I love that.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And so it's an emotional roller coaster, but the people of Apopka are absolutely amazing and supportive and wonderful. the majority of them.
Yeah,
And
supporting local.
So many people. I mean, just it's incredible.
And one of the things I want to mention just to our audience and just to people to just think about when you do go to, these small businesses, restaurants, is instead of complaining if something isn't to your liking, give constructive criticism. That's what I do. Like if I don't like the way a sandwich is put together and it was hard to eat or so, I'll just tell the waiter, hey, can I make a suggestion?
Just so you're not being mean.
I don't tip less or anything like that. It's just something, okay, as a customer, I would like to see this, or could you try to, it's just a suggestion instead of just going and doing the Google review because there was one thing you didn't like. You've got to think about the people behind.
Right.
Yeah.
There are also
the
people
business,
that are just toxic that are going to go do that no matter what.
You're always
And
going to
can't.
have that, but
and you have to hope. I not to plug my books, but I write books as a hobby and as a passion, and 100% positive reviews, except for one person who was
Just
like an
didn't
old
like
high
him.
school person, didn't like me, 1 star, which brought the whole thing down from 5 to 4.
Oh my God.
But when you read those, hopefully you can tell by how articulate they are or are not, or the way they've worded. You would hope that a rational person that's interested in your restaurant would be like, this person is just hates life or doesn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can usually tell.
Right.
Yeah.
You would hope.
I think there's some reviews too, though, that have made us be better.
Yeah.
And so you do appreciate those. And to your point,
That's
you
the
appreciate
feedback.
when people give you.
I
that
would rather
constructive
people tell
criticism.
us.
Of course.
Yeah. I always see on one of the things that I follow online, I always see people say, why should I have to talk to the manager? Shouldn't they already know? And my thought is, yeah, but like for example, for us, we come in every single day. We make the exact same things every single day to set up the line.
Sure.
And when you make the exact same thing every single day, how much salt to put in things. Things happen, mistakes happen. Things people for me, sometimes I'm
Especially a small business where we're make everything. It's not coming out of a bag.
And it's a small staff there, you know what I mean? And you're working 70 hours a week.
You
But
still
to
get
me,
to
that
put
adds to the
salt.
charm, though. You're making this stuff. This is being made every day. It's not in a box. It's not frozen.
No, it's a labor of love.
Yeah.
Some days I'm like, was that 7 or 8 tablespoons of salt?
Was that salt or was that sugar?
Yeah, but
It's terrible.
I'm
happens
sure it
sometimes.
happens so few and far in between.
But
Yeah.
it does happen. And so
I
and you don't
remember there
taste
was one
everything.
time. This was my favorite. We went the whole day.
Oh gosh.
When they set up the line, they swapped the gravy in the Alfredo sauce. So we served
Sounds like-
Alfredo sauce with the fried chicken all day. And
Sounds like
nobody complained.
Sounds like an accidental discovery that would be amazing.
Right? Somebody was like, this has cheese in it. It's like, no. Like,
it's
oh, well, it's really
gravy.
good.
Well, we say
And I think when we were closing for the day, it was like, oh, this is not right.
that is one of those
You never know.
things,
You might
though.
have somebody come back that says, this doesn't taste as good as it was last time. You have to give me Alfredo
Yeah,
sauce.
right?
What's your other sauce, please? Thank you very
Yeah.
much. So, who else in the family is involved in the restaurant?
It's just Alex and me.
Oh, wow.
Like she said, I conned her into doing this with me. And I feel like my poor child because she's looking at me like, I don't want to be a server for the rest of my life. But I'm like, you've got an incredible business opportunity to learn. My husband, he stops by every single day to eat and he helps me. Like today, he took me to Restaurant Depot, which is typical of a Monday. So he's involved like that. Like I'll be like, hey, can you change the filters? Can you clean this? Can you help me with this? This isn't working. He does those sort of things. And he's emotional support for me, which I need a lot of, which is
With working
huge.
that much, yeah.
It's huge. So he's very encouraging, mainly to me, some to her. And then my dad has been incredible with just being supportive. My dad just turned 70 in July and he comes in, he likes to flirt with all of the women, doesn't matter how old or young they are. And
Sounds like my dad.
if I call and I say, Dad, I don't have a dishwasher today, he shows up and he washes dishes.
That's amazing.
Oh, wow.
He's pretty awesome. He's helped me do everything. He's helped me come in on Monday and prep food all day. He'll help me with events. We just did an event and it was like something that we did for free. And so he showed up and so I don't have to pay anybody for their labor. He cooked with me all day. He's getting ready to cook with me on Halloween.
Nice.
So he's there.
To fill in the gaps.
Oh, shout out to Dad for all the
shout
help.
out.
For sure.
And also, it's probably kind of cool for him to see that you're taking like these recipes that you were taught, how to make as you were growing up or that you enjoyed, and you're, sharing them with the community.
I think it's got our spin on it, so it's different maybe but it's still the love that I think my dad is an incredible cook, and his mom was the one who was the lunchroom lady at Oak Ridge.
And what did you call her?
My granny.
Granny.
My granny.
That's what that's my
That is
grandmother.
a Southern name, though.
I know.
It
My
really is.
my granny is from Kentucky. I know it's very Southern.
It's very Southern.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. That's it, right?
That's it.
So I have a question. You're talking about how sometimes there are slow days or whatever. Do you guys have like specials at a certain time, or is it all just the regular menu most of the time?
We push a lot of specials. Most of our regulars come in for specials. They happen at the typically, not always. We'll do one for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, like 1 or 2. And then for the weekend, they'll have like 1 or 2.
Okay, so you're adding something different so the regulars that are coming in all the time can, experiment and try something new. Because that's kind of the things although a lot of times when you find something that you truly love in a restaurant,
and they don't
it's
bring it
so
back.
hard
Not to pick it.
You know
Every
what I mean?
time. Yeah.
Like we have our favorite Italian restaurant, Tornatori's, and every time it's like, I
do I
really
steer
want to try something else, but I know. And everything's delicious. You just know that it's like, it's like,
But I
makes you
force
so
myself
happy. See how happy we get about food? It's ridiculous.
Well, I'm telling you too, as you're talking about your regulars, so we love doing this anyway, but somehow we've gotten a little click of food lately. And so we're committed to coming by regularly now and trying different things on the menu and maybe eating the same thing off the menu if we find something we like. Yeah. But there were 4 or 5 other items on the menu I really wanted to order right then and there. But I knew we couldn't eat it all.
We're not that big of foodies. We don't like to waste food. So we're not the people that
We're
will order.
bite.
I don't like to waste food. That is the thing. So when we have food left on, we're like, can I get it down? Can I?
Can I make myself eat it?
It's like that mentality when we were growing up, get everything on your plate.
Plus, it's so good, though. I mean, we really enjoyed what we had there.
Now, do you guys do, I know you do. I already know the answer to this. You do catering, correct?
We do catering. It's a little bit of a challenge because of the way that our kitchen is set up to do catering. So we definitely do. I don't say no to anyone. We have something coming up in December, and it's like for 150 people.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
It would be difficult for us to do that. Our restaurant only seats 60. So it's like you're faced with, do I take this catering job and close the restaurant, or what do you do? So
I would imagine you have to close a restaurant when you do.
You can't.
Well, it's just
You don't even have the
kitchen.
manpower.
Yeah.
So we do catering. We say yes to that. It's guaranteed money. It's great. But at the same time, you don't want to upset your regular customers. If I got more of it, I would probably try to rent a space or something so that I would just try to figure it out differently.
Yeah. Like an actual kitchen that's only made just for that.
You can rent kitchen space to just cook in for a day.
Yeah.
And so I would probably do that just for a catering event so that our kitchen doesn't have to close,
Yeah.
Well, we can't say anything yet because it's very hush hush, but we have a friend that's getting ready to open commercial kitchen space that can be rented, so we'll talk to you about it.
Oh, yes. Okay, cool.
That might be a good source for that. But they've seen the same thing in the industry where some people just don't have space to do some of these other, especially in the COVID era where you've got your restaurant you want to run, but then you have all this pickup and stuff.
And
People
a lot
wanna
of
do
meal prep
curbside
companies,
and
too.
Meal prep and everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what's next for you guys? Like what's next? Like what's the dream?
I just want to go back and say one thing about people who eat all of their food. I really appreciated it because I'm in the back and I look at those plates come back and I'm like, why are they wasting them? Did you ask them if they like this? It is very personal.
Oh, I
to
bet.
me.
You're like, there's one bite taken out. They must have hated it. But for all you know, they were stuffed, right?
Yes.
So,
My mom would have not beat me. She would have beat me if I ordered a meal and took one bite. I would not be able to sit down.
Oh, yeah, no.
And looking back in hindsight, it's a much healthier lifestyle. But at the same time, like, eat your food or take it with you.
Or split a meal if you're not right.
split a
Don't
meal.
waste it. There's too much waste in the world. Don't waste the food.
I mean,
right?
I'm grateful they bought it, but at the same time, I'm like, did they like that?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm one
Well,
of those.
that kind of speaks to what you guys really want to get out of this too. It's not just about making the food and selling the food.
No.
You want people to really genuinely enjoy it.
And Christa, you sound like you're like me. I get personally offended
Yes.
if I cook
Yes.
dinner and somebody doesn't even just try. Like you, I mean, I want
I've
you to
taken
eat
the
it,
cues. I've taken the cues
but
over
no,
the years.
you need
It's delicious.
to. No, not even that. You don't need to lie. But if I prepare the meal
Right.
and then you're like, oh, I don't like asparagus. I'm like, I don't give a crap if you don't like it. You're going to take a bite of it. Like, it's going to happen. I mean, I get literally personally offended. And maybe I shouldn't, but I do.
One of our children, who shall remain nameless, had the habit of going, they would say, I'm not a fan. That was their famous saying. But it was literally before your brain could acknowledge taste, you
sees
would
the
watch
color.
them go like this. Oh, I don't like it. And you're like, you're kidding me.
Even taste
Touch
it.
that
It's
on
a
your tongue.
predetermined visual.
Oh,
Oh my
I'm with
gosh.
you.
it was bad.
We got that look on camera.
Oh, yes.
I saw it.
And that one wasn't my child. That's one of his children. But we'll still make them nameless. But and then I can't say much because I'm like, I'm getting personally offended.
So how can people find out more about the Southern Deli, aside from coming into the place, of course? How do they find you?
On the internet, we have Facebook, Instagram. They're trying to talk me into doing TikTok, but I want them to do it because
You have
not-
to.
we
I'm
don't
telling you,
have
they told us
It's
to
the
do
newest
it.
thing. Yeah,
They told
you
us to do it forever, and we said no. And then finally, 6 weeks ago, we posted 3 videos, and one of them got 4.5 million views. So
Yeah.
trust me, people are
We
watching
did a
it.
little bit different, though. We did funny stuff.
Yeah, but
so
that's what you guys could do.
yeah.
that.
we could totally
Yeah.
do that. But I
when somebody
am not.
spills something in the
Dancing.
back, you know.
Or just some goofy stuff, because it will get people looking to see what you're all about.
We
And I'll
have
t-
plenty of that.
I'll tell you
of
the best way
course.
to do it is you guys get some Ring cameras and
Oh,
just
okay.
put one in the kitchen,
Okay,
put
all
one in
right.
the prep area, because you're going to catch some fabulous stuff.
That's-
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're going to catch it.
A lot of dance moves, I think.
but
People
it-
like to dance in the kitchen.
She's not wrong, because whenever what we've learned over the years of having them, she'll go, remember that time? And we'll go, was that on the camera? And I'll go back weeks or months
Oh
and
my
find it.
god.
Yeah.
So it's worth doing
That's
for
how
sure.
we got all our views.
That's right. People can find you on social media and on your website as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll put
And
a
it's
link to all
the
that.
Southern Deli.
TheSouthernDeli.com. We'll put a link in the show notes so people can
Thank you.
scroll down and click for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so
Maybe
much.
coming to TikTok. I don't know.
Oh, yes.
I'm
We'll
addicted
we'll
to TikTok.
We will be on the lookout.
So the thing to do is like save up some funny ones and then launch them all
Like
at
a
one
bunch in
time.
a row.
That's what you do.
that's
So
what
then
we
you
did.
can save up some more and launch those ones
And
to
then
get
we-
people addicted.
We literally have a little list of other ones that are coming, just because, you don't, I don't know, maybe you guys have stuff happen every day that's funny. We don't. So we're
that's
kind of
okay.
keeping track of the ones we
Anytime
do.
we hurt ourselves, we go, oh, look at the camera.
Was that on?
We have some
ridiculous.
characters.
We have
Do
a
you?
few characters.
Oh, yeah.
The restaurant tends to attract them, I think.
I think that helps, though, doesn't it?
does.
When
It
it's
does,
so
without a
stressful,
doubt. Yes.
Yeah.
that's kind of decompression in the workplace.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming to
Thank
sit with
you.
us. This is great. And we really
And-
did enjoy the place, and we'll be back.
We will be back soon.
And thank you guys. Thank you for doing this for the community. It's awesome.
Thank you. We love doing it.
We
We
do.
really do. We are all about supporting local, supporting small.
Yep.
We've had some larger businesses reach out to us, and we're keeping true to ourselves
Yes.
with helping smaller businesses. So
Mom and pop kind of
yeah,
places,
local creatives, things like that. Just that's what we're all about.
It's awesome.
I love it.
And
like it.
this is especially great because not that I don't love art and books and everything,
Mm-hmm.
but when we're meeting with, restaurants where we got to sit and have a really nice chat, and you guys are very interesting. We love the restaurant. It's like a win-win. So now that
Yeah.
we've met you, we're like more interested in going back and trying more food. So it's
We're definitely very faithful to the
Yeah.
people that we have met.
yeah.
And
Agree.
Now, not going to lie to you. We did come try the food to make sure
First.
that we like it.
Because we want to be authentic, right?
Yeah, we do want to be
Oh,
authentic.
yeah.
Of
That's,
course,
we're committed
you know?
to being truthful and authentic on the show, but that's,
I mean,
that
not
we had
that I
to
would
try
be
it.
like, ugh, gross, but
we wouldn't be
you know,
raining rainbows or whatever here.
Exactly. We'd be like, yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much.
Thank
This
you.
has been
Thank
great.
you.
And we will definitely be back.
We will. And that is the end of the show, everybody. And remember, at the end of each and every day, it's all fine and dandy. I love it. It's our catchphrase.
Totally.